boy, boy, what's up, D?
What's up, Skido?
What's up, man?
We have a great episode.
No, I can't. I'm so excited.
I think I want to talk to you about accountability in relationships, red flags, compromising, all of that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to get through all that, man. I'm still jet lagged. You know what I'm saying? You got me, my brain's spinning. But at the end of the day, when I was in Cali, I have a lot of people sit down, we talking, right? And then he was just talking about red flags, not seeing them. You know what I'm saying? And the women, it was a group of women. I was like, oh, I'm going to ask DeShawn this. And they said, we just can't see it. You know, we think we see what we see.
We choose not to see.
How do you feel when people don't see the red flags? They ignore them. I don't know what it is. What is it? I know you probably had a couple episodes. Tell me what you see. I want the woman's perspective.
Well, I definitely, probably still now, ignored my fair share of red flags. I think when people say they don't see them, they're choosing to not see them. They're so focused on what they want that if the red flag is interrupting the narrative that they have created, then they don't give it credence. At least that's what I did or do sometimes. Not as much now, though.
Well, listen, let's repeat that. You be taking me left. Sometimes I was drifting. I said, listen, let's keep it, I know you had a couple of red flags. Let's keep it really real. Like, what's something that happened that you was like, yo, you know what? I didn't see this. Let's try to, tell me the worst episode of a red flag you ever had.
That I ignored or...
Yes.
It's been a lot. But let's see. I was dating this one guy in Dallas because the kids were living in Dallas. So I was always back and forth in Dallas. And then I was already going to Dallas to go to the games, all 3 different games and all of that, and to see my kids. But when I was paying for all the trips, that was a red flag to me.
So,
because what? I was paying for the trip, so I was going to see my kid. But if I'm spending this time with you, I think that,
and it was a bit because
no, I wasn't paying for a meal. So I'm very adamant on what I won't do. But when I look on it, I was doing all of that,
so
and I should not have. If I'm dating this guy, which we were in a relationship, and he was seeing me when I was there.
Absolutely.
So on the other side of it, I can say, that was a red flag because he ultimately ended up being a red.
So that's one. Give me another one.
He was always so busy talking about he working on all this stuff, but you could never see it.
So what you mean? Not giving you your time?
No, like
not
his
calling?
work.
It's always work related. Okay. So be honest. So those 2 red flags, it'll be from the man's perspective. If a man want to be with you, he's going to be with you.
He's going to be with you.
If you're going to fly you, he's going to fly you in. If you're going to take care of you, he's going to take care of you. So when you don't get all those attentions, leave it alone.
Right.
If you got to pay your own ticket to go see a man, it's already a red flag.
And I was going to see my kids, so that's how I justified, or that's...
You justified it.
Not justified it, but that's what I was doing. But in hindsight, no, I would never do. I didn't need to be dating him. I could just went and see my kids.
So that was one. Another red flag. Because you were out there. You were the single. Not out there what y'all think. She's out there testing the waters.
Yeah.
Okay.
The waters are very murky.
It's murky?
It's not.
So give me another one. Keep for the know.
So another red flag, I guess, is when we were talking about when guys check out, if a guy is not really giving you all the attention or is nonchalant or doesn't care or is allowing a lot of things without pushback, then usually it's for a reason. So that's a red flag if you don't. I'm sorry. That's a red flag if you don't. I'm sorry, that's my daddy.
Your dad is calling you?
No, it's this appointment, doctor's appointment.
Okay.
We must be running up. So I think that's a red flag.
All right.
That you overlook.
When they were talking about it so much, I said, I want to just...
Well, see, I'm not really out there like that now. So in the past, it was a lot of it. I had a crazy guy. Well, he wasn't crazy, but he was crazy. And he
That's
blocked,
being out there.
Yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah, okay, more. What was crazy? We need to...
He was blocking the numbers in my phone of any guy. So business, personal, and everything.
He was doing what?
He blocked their numbers. So people trying to call me, do business and whatever, and it wasn't getting through.
So you had a nut blocking your number, and you talking about he crazy.
But I didn't know. But it was other stuff that he was doing, red flags that I should have picked up on to let me know that he was that crazy person.
Wow. So, okay, so
but back
detail. I want to know so the women
understand
what they do.
When the kids were home, because remember I told you the boys lived in Dallas, so they would come back for. So when I had the kids, so sometimes I didn't have the kids at all, so he had all my time. But when the
Okay.
kids was there, my kids are my priority. Then he
Okay.
acted like a baby.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Does
I
that
get
make
it.
sense?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get it.
I don't have
get it.
like no
So
juicy,
basically, he
juicy
was
stuff.
just doing some crazy stuff. He blocked
He
it.
was immature. He was younger too, but insecure.
Yeah, oh.
I don't mind a younger guy.
Well, how young?
I can go 10 up, 10 down. Hell,
No,
I
how
can go
young?
15 up, 15
Why are
down.
you giving a number? What's your range?
Oh, I'm 51. So 40s, 35.
You went to 35, 51. Okay, that's close to the 20s.
No, I have a
Oh!
thing with my son, my oldest son. I can't date anybody younger than my kids. And obviously I don't want
Oh,
to.
so you younger than your kids are the same age? You ain't with that?
No, they're in the 20s.
But 35? All right. 50.
I mean, I would date a 35-year-old. I think you can have fun. I want
You
to
can
have
have
fun.
fun? But
I want to have
how
fun.
much fun you gonna
I
have
want to
with a
be married, but I
35-year-old?
also want to have fun. If they're a fun person.
Okay, but as far as level of maturity and think different
If it's a
tunes,
type of guy, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If he got to be established and experienced and stuff like that.
so
But
you
he could
telling
be
the audience
younger.
35 is the minimum?
37. I mean, I'm a young 50.
Yeah, you don't look that
I
at
have,
all.
you know.
And I ain't even trying to sell it. Everybody can tell in the camera that you don't look your age. And actually, I've been seeing
And
some
I want some
50-year-olds
fun
look
in
like
my
they
life.
70. Like there's some horrible, I don't know if y'all, what genetics going on here. And I'd be like, and then they'd be like, yo, Ski. I'm like, yo, you what? And I had to catch myself because they really look old. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, life probably made
life
him
will
look like
tear
that.
you down.
I mean, I never looked like what I went through.
Okay.
I mean, my first lady told me that. She was like, put your lipstick on, wash your face.
You
Don't
good.
ever go out
And
looking
your
like what you're
genetics
going
are
through.
crazy anyway. You see,
My genetics are
you
good
saw
too.
Kay in the last episode. She was just that she was.
Yeah.
Y'all genetics are crazy with
We got
pretty
good
teeth.
genes.
I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
nah, that's what's up. Because I just wanted, my thing is being a man. I want to get the other side. And me having a daughter, we sit down and talk. Because now I'm starting to listen.
Mhm.
You understand? From the woman's point of view. And the realest thing I could listen to is the one that adores me the most.
Right.
Is my kid. Right? So my daughter, I take because I know she loves her dad. And that when she says dad, she's seeing me and she's seeing the change. And she's seeing both. And she's like, Dad, I seen you at the most angry, scary. And I seen that. Not towards her. She just see my interactions of discipline, but me being calmer and listening more. Not that I'm the greatest father, but I always try to be in my kid's life. And some things that don't work out with the
Right.
baby mamas and, stuff like that. But I always wanted family.
Right.
And I tried to be the best. And I sacrificed a lot to not go other places because I wanted to be around them. Even
Right.
though we wasn't getting along with that.
So
It
how
was
do you
cool.
I'm sorry. The another thing too with the red flags, I think like now when you're so confident in who you are
Mhm.
and your value,
Mhm.
like you have inherent value, but
Mhm.
sometimes life, you forget about that. And so then you settle and you overlook red flags and all that. Things you wouldn't do. You would do things that you wouldn't do if you knew who you were. So as a father to a young adult woman, how do you pour into her so that she knows that she's a queen already?
What I do is my actions.
Okay.
So how I treat my daughter, it's already, she knows how to be treated.
Yes.
She won't even move from a door unless you open it. Her boyfriend will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he even buckles her seat.
Oh, that's
So
cute.
I was like, well, I didn't know about all that. I just opened the door. When he crossed that, for a minute, thought he was doing too much. Quick story. Because she goes to church, she's really trying to wait for the sign. He went over and crossed the belt over her. My mind is, nigga, you trying to touch my daughter? I went around, I said, dude, you got he said, he looked up, he said, sir, I'm just trying to make sure she's secure.
No.
I said, but I was about to smack the shit out of him because I don't play that touch, rub, her breast. and I didn't understand it, but the young man stood there like, am I okay? And I'm like, you okay?
Yes.
Because that was something new. You buckle my daughter's seatbelt to make sure she good. I didn't even recognize that. The door was enough for me.
Right.
But it's the extra shit. And I catch a chill, get emotional, because we're not going to always be here for them. And then if we don't teach them, I think we get as parents, I don't know what the hell's going on with me. But I guess because of the love for my children.
Yes.
And then we know we're trying to get them ready, and then we know we're not going to be there. And then we get scared. We get nervous. And then we don't know the decisions they're going to go. And we're not trying to tell you what to do. We just want you to know we've been through all of that, and we don't want you to hit those walls we hit.
So,
and that note, that was just on that note.
Can your daughter come to you with anything? Do you guys have an open relationship?
Well, in the beginning, I wasn't with that.
Okay.
They couldn't even tell me when they had their period because I start friends. It's a joke in my family. Like my sisters tell your dad, you got your period. And when they come in there, Dad, I start, ugh, you know, because I'm just that dad. I'm like the bear, but sensitive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's when they said coming to me was, I don't want to hear about men. I don't want to. Not that they doing something. I'm the only man they trust. So it just.
And they want a man's point of view.
It took a minute. I'm really old school. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, yo, I'm not trying to hear that. You know, even when they bring him to me, like my daughter did, and he sat at the table, and this is a true story. And he said, oh, sorry, I wanna take your daughter. I said, and I'm sitting there, and the mom is dead. I'm like, yo, I'm really different. So I told them, I said, let me explain something to you. I'm gonna share this with you. It's a true story. I said, I don't care how much she loves you. I don't care. I love her. I don't care. Whatever mood she get in, I'm going to blame you. If you take advantage of my daughter, what you think you're using down there, I'm going to twist it off. I'm going to pound you out. I'm really like that. I don't play. Everybody know I don't play. I'm going to hurt you. Because what you did is sat at my table and looked me in the face and told me I want to date your daughter. You did all the proper shit. But you still a man, a young man with a penis that you think different. Don't think different with mines because I will hurt you. You will never use that again. True story. I bring them on the set. We can do this, bro. They'll come up here and tell you. He still looked me in my eye and still was there with her. And they doing the right thing, going to church, doing that. And I'm not saying it's a church thing, but she said, I'm saving myself that because I've watched my other brothers and sisters but I love you. And I seen you change it. I broke. And I was like, what? And she's like, and I've learned. You learn from your brother. Sometimes you learn what not to do. And it made me say, you know, I started doing certain things. And when she told me that, and she looked at me, and then she hugged me, because I wasn't, I guess when...
Affectionate?
The affection thing was, I only received that from my children. But from people, when people talk, I don't be really hearing that, because it don't be sincere with me. I just had this trust issue because I know what's real and what's not. Not saying that I know people love me to death, but I know when my children is real.
Right.
So, you know, and that part is good. And when your kids talk to you about, I don't know how your sons feel.
So I have different relationships, but my youngest son, I mean, they say it doesn't even seem like a mother-son relationship. It's not the typical, but we talk about a lot. Well, at least I talk about a lot to him.
Give me a situation of how they come to you. Like, what's the real?
But my oldest son, you know, he's adulting right now. And so he shares things with me. You know, I like to know what's going on in his life, but he has his boundaries. He'll say, like, I don't need any advice or anything. I'm just telling you what's going on. So he has very strict boundaries with me at times.
So he'll ask you, but he say you don't need advice?
Yeah, he comes to me and he shares things with me, but he's saying, like, I'm not sharing for you to give me advice on it. I'm just telling you, you know, so sometimes you just need to talk it out loud.
I don't know. That's
because I have, in my family, they know the way I process things. I ask a lot of questions and I have a lot of opinions. And so, you know, he just told me we're not doing all that. I'm just letting you know what's going on.
We got to rewind a little bit. So let's try to, you're doing that with me. So when he says, this is from the board, I'm the man, I'm telling you my problems, but I don't want to hear your opinions.
Well, he's not saying it like that.
No, but they know what I'm talking about. That's cool. Just listen to me, but don't give me your opinion. Now, why is that?
Because he just wanted to get it off. But for me, what I do, I love that because I know how to pray for him. I want to know what's going on. So I don't take offense to that.
You don't think that's a problem?
No, because he does take my advice. You know what I'm saying? But just sometimes, just not unsolicited advice. Some situations don't call for it. You got to just listen. You just got to be there.
Okay, I got it. I'm just trying to really.
Yeah. So, and sometimes, you know, he processes things differently too.
Okay,
so sometimes it's just, you know, listening, being that listening ear. You know, if he asks for my advice, I give it to him. But more importantly for me, that just shows me how I need to cover him in prayer. So I love our relationship. Our relationship hasn't always been like that. But now that he's grown, he's adulting.
Is he now listening to your opinions?
Yeah, he listens to my opinions.
But before, when he didn't approve it, now is it more open? Like, I know everybody changes. Is it now he's...
It wasn't that he wasn't listening to... It was now the conversation is...
Okay.
Because it's not like we were that close before. So now, you know, he's sharing everything with me.
And why wasn't you that close before?
It was just, you know, they lived in Dallas with their dad and...
it was during the divorce. That's what you thought
it was later on in life, too. It was after the divorce, but it's... Did
it have anything to do with your personality?
No. No.
I'm looking in the camera, y'all. I'm like,
No,
let me
it was
rewind
other.
that.
It was other stuff at first. It wasn't because of me.
How about and this is not too, 'cause one thing, this is my sister here, y'all. Let's be clear. And we go back and we talk. We trying to be better in life, on the camera, off the camera. But your perfectionist and all the things the way you want it, or all the things, did that trickle down to kids not talking to you or people coming to you? I mean, just now.
Well,
that
maybe
you think
others,
about
but
it.
not my kids though.
No?
No. I mean, that wasn't the reason. That wouldn't be the reason I would say. It was other stuff.
Okay.
So it wasn't that. Now, I have different relationships with each of the kids. Like my middle son, I'm trying to get that deeper relationship. It's not as deep as it is with the other two.
Okay.
In terms of like knowing everything.
Okay. All right.
Then my youngest son, I mean, he says I don't know much, but I know a lot. But
He says what?
he said I don't really know that much about him.
That's what, and that right there, I'm asking you. I mean, we keeping it real
Yeah.
because I think there's a lot of mothers and people going through that. When he says that you don't really know that much, what do you think
Because
he's saying?
basically, I take it to mean I know what he's telling me, but there's stuff that he's not telling me, I guess.
And then he says, okay. So how do you take it? You just go whatever?
No, I don't go whatever.
No, I'm not saying whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I try to make it more deeper with, and learn things. But I mean, what can I do?
I think this is a little sensitive here.
It is a little sensitive.
I can tell. And this is my sister, so don't get it clue to put her in the corner, nothing like that.
But what I can say, I'm very, my kids, everybody know my kids mean the world to me. And I'm very happy with, this stage, this season with all of my children. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful because it was a little strained sometimes at times.
Okay.
So I'm really proud of each of them. They're all thriving their own way.
I met them and they're good kids. I saw that one playing football, the other one, he was the videographer. He was dope. He had vision.
Yep.
Your son came to my restaurant at the time. He was cool. And you know what? We're going to do the best we could do to be parents.
Absolutely.
That's so, don't put so much pressure on yourself, parents. I mean, we're not perfect. We come from a different generation. Our values might not be your values.
Right.
You understand what you think? You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Because this younger generation is different, so we got to learn to listen and to not look at it from our point of view, from how we were raised.
Absolutely.
But there's still some basic stuff,
And we still learning. There's some sensitive issues, but we're going to be all right. Because on this show, 10 Steps Ahead, we helping each other, we learning, we growing, and that's what it's all about.
That's what it's
all
all
about. I got my sister
about.
in the building. She straightens me out. I straighten her out, but it's all in love.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you see some sensitivism we can't talk about, but no, we just gonna keep doing what we doing.
Well, we're gonna bring baby sis in and ask her some questions.
I go on the block with her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I should have went to college with you. I don't know. Let's go. I'm looking forward. Kay, let's go. Where's she at?
Up next.
All right. That's what's up. 10 Steps Ahead. Yo, we been out here talking, boy. I love this stuff. What's going on, Kay?
What up, though?
Oh, man. Oh, I forgot to ask. My apologies. I know you had to take it. What happened with your son? He broke his leg?
Oh, yeah. My son broke his ankle playing basketball.
What?
He's a football player, but he played basketball in the gym at school. He said he went up for a rebound, came down on his ankle, and it snapped.
Oh, you got to be
3
careful.
places.
You know what? I like to keep it real a little bit in this perspective on because I know you are a single mom, correct?
I am.
And I can never understand that. You know what I'm saying? Women are different. Really, how do you feel raising, because a woman to raise a boy, even with a man and trying to, and all of that, I don't know what's going on, but how do you feel being a single mom? I mean, how it really feels?
A part of me, it's like, damn, that's not what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
But then a bigger part of me is always proud of me, right? So my son, I would say, is probably I have an 18-year-old son and I have 8-year-old identical girl twins.
You knocked out twins?
I did.
You are strong.
Hello, you better do it.
Yeah. I would have never known that, for real.
Yeah, I did. And my son is actually graduating in May. And then he's going off to the Air Force. But I did that, right? I mean, God carried us through that, but I did that. No drugs, no drama, no records, no nothing, just football grades. And I ain't going on, right? I wanted to do that. Shout out to my son.
Raise them boys.
But being a single mom, it's a lot because you got to be everything in one, right? Even with him going to the Air Force, when I was kicking it with the recruiter, because at first I was really against it. But then he's like, you know, as a mom, you did a great job. Like, he's a fine young man, but the father in you has to release him. You know what I mean?
And that's the hard part.
It is, right? Because when you got to play both roles for so long, and this is my truth. Anybody and everybody can say what they want, take it how they want. I stand on it. I raised my son for 18 years, okay?
That's what's up.
So it's like you get angry sometimes, and then, you know, it's a lot that you got to put on the back burner, you know, and then when you didn't have like the biggest support system where I got my friends like, oh, yeah, they dropping their kids off at their mama house and stuff like that. I ain't had it. You know what I mean?
So
but
you was by yourself through all of it. I mean, what you mean?
I have support.
Your family?
Like, not, you know, I could call my sister and be like, you know, can you pick the girls up or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, but in reality, though, when it came down to it, when all three of them sick in each different rooms, and I got to make sure everybody good, you got to be the preacher, the mother, the nurse, the doctor, the coach. Like, it's like all in one. Like, even raising a man, right? Like, I can't raise my son to be a man, but I could teach him the aspects of being a man, right? I feel like there is a lot of lessons that a father should play when it comes to raising a man. And then when you flip it on the girl side, y'all don't understand, some men don't understand the role that they play in the girl's life, because when you around and not 6 feet under or behind the bars, like, you literally, to me, I think it raises damaged girls, right? Because women don't admit it, but they tend to hold on or find something in another man that they should let go if their father was there. Like, they try to fill a void. In so many words, it's like hard to let a fuck nigga go. You know what I'm saying? Like, they find, because they try to adapt to it. Like, even when they fuck up, they try to adapt because they don't want to. It's like, you don't want to give up on somebody because you feel like you got that void right there, you know, so
basically what you're saying, and this is, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, it's from the man's perspective, if you you can't just bring anybody around trying to fill a void, and everybody think a man is just having a man there, but actually having the wrong man there can be very damaging.
Can be worse.
So even you single moms out there, I know you're lonely, I know you have them crying episodes, but it's like it's a lot, and you know, God bless you, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, being lonely is one thing. Bringing the wrong man in your house is another.
It's a totally different one.
On that note, and not to switch, because you see that, not you was married,
right,
and you had a man in that situation, but when y'all got divorced, the man void of it, and being the mother, people don't understand, you actually almost, that was a life changer. Being single, it's almost like being single again, and you used to him playing the man part. How was it when that man left and you had to adjust to that and deal with your kids a certain way?
So it was split. The older two are allowed to move out of state with their dad. So it was just the younger one with me. But they would go back and forth. So I didn't have all three by myself.
Okay.
But I did have Jaron. And, you know, definitely, and he eventually moved with his father because I think his father needed to be in his life. It's challenging. I didn't have the same challenges. And Eric was in Jaron's life. But there were times that, you know, I know it felt different for Jaron.
Sis, give yourself the credit. I don't, he was around.
Yes.
My son can pick up the phone and say what up to his daddy too, but at the end of the day, when Jaron was sick, when he needed to go somewhere, when he needed, you were there, whether it was 1 kid or 8. You were a single mom and you were there doing the damn thing. What
That's true.
And that part we're talking about. We know all of that. You're trying to, how was you feeling at that part?
Well, of course I did what I had to do, but I was feeling like I shouldn't be having to do this by myself because, you know, that wasn't the situation I signed up for. But, you know, I guess with everything in life, I don't really focus on like, oh, it should be the other way. I think it, but then I still got to do what I got to do. That doesn't, at the end of the day, the issue needs to be addressed.
Got to be done.
It got to be done. So you ain't got time to do
whatever got to be done, got to be done.
So we just roll up our sleeves and do what we have to do.
The only time you going to see me fold is doing laundry. Okay?
Yo, and let me tell y'all something. My sister, and you know, I got my cousins and sisters, they be like, sometimes they get personal, right? And being Black, beautiful women that y'all are, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll hear men go, well, I don't mess with Black women. They do this, that. They don't see the importance of great. And it's not a race thing. It's more like, how do you feel about another Black man saying, we only date white women because black women are a certain way. I mean, I know that hurts, but what do y'all think about that? What you think about that?
Do they actually say it though, or they just
they just
so
say
some might say I've heard that before because of the quote unquote attitude and the anger and this is that, right? But I feel like when you want a woman to be in a soft girl era, as they say, then you got to take me out of survivor mode. So maybe them attitudes wouldn't always be there, right?
So basically, you're saying it ain't about the color of race. They say we got more attitudes, black women. I love my black women. I love my Puerto Rican both. But you know, I got to give a shout out to both. But at the same time, you're saying is being a strong black woman, they don't understand. That if you want to step into this life, take the pressure off of me, and then you'll see a different woman. Right. But they feel they want to keep allowing you to still be that boss and, you know, all the strains of being, it's like they're there, but they're not there.
Right. You can't lead and then expect me to tell you the steps to lead. That's crazy. Right? That's crazy work.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, she's saying, I don't wait for nobody.
I don't subscribe to that like that. But, so I know you're dating a beautiful black queen. So, but did you go through an era where you would only date white women or?
I never dated white women in my life.
Okay, let me know.
But I think they're beautiful.
Yes.
I like green, white, Chinese, black, all that. I never dated, you know, back in my day.
You couldn't bring them home?
Yeah. Nah, but, you know, it's like this.
No face, no case,
it was the taste of everything. You taste a little of everything, and then you know what you like.
Right. Okay.
And I like my black women, and I love my Puerto Rican women. And because I'm half and half, that's just the preference of my taste.
Yeah.
And I adore them. I respect them. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was 100% Puerto Rican. And then my father and then my aunts are black, and we all knew each other. Puerto Rican and blacks are all in the hood in New York. You know what I'm saying? We all in the same projects, all that. So I seen all the culture, but they taught me a lot of good things. One, carry an old person's bag. Two, you know, don't hold that door. And if you didn't hold that door, you got popped in your head.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, kids will walk through the door and keep walking and don't
like
even
you don't see the person
you don't even see it, no matter what color. So I loved how it was discipline like that. The next neighbor could do that and that, but that came from black and that came from Puerto Rican.
Right.
And I love how we are. I love the strength in y'all. But a lot of insecure men, a lot of weak men start complaining about that. And I'm going to say this. It's not because I know good white people, black people, I'm not saying that. But when black people down their own people, it's because there's something weak in them. There was something, it wasn't you blaming color, you putting color like it is. That's just my opinion, real. I said, no, a great person is a great person, no matter what color they are.
Right.
But respect who you are or what you came from. You understand?
Yeah.
And that part, I don't like when men do that. That's why I was asking y'all.
But isn't that a small percentage? Because it's still the higher percentage of black men, they marry black women though, right? So it's a larger percentage?
No, because of that negative. You understand? It kind of like they start painting this picture that a certain race is better than a certain race.
Small percentage.
Just look what's out there. So when they start saying that, some people that are weak gravitate to that.
Right.
Instead of building men, instead of building men, you're building what you say? Say the word. Bitches, whatever. You know, whatever. You know, I don't want to be professional, but weak ass men. Like,
let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I just want to know, like, so what do you think makes, and this is society's label, a man a whole ass nigga, right? And that is their label.
Whole ass nigga.
A whole ass nigga. That is what they call it, right? And so, do you think it's the mother, how they were raised, maybe the ex-girlfriend?
You want to ask me? Sure.
I swear to God, I do. Please tell me. Because I should not be single.
Okay, so.
But it is a lot of hoe ass niggas out here, and I just don't know if it's trauma. Can you say that? I don't know.
Define the whole ass nigga for the other audience. Break it down to me, so I want to give you the real answer.
Oh, just even what you just said about a clown. A clown. But what makes you a whole ass niggas is when your weakness and them insecurities start to overshadow how things are supposed to go in the relationship, right?
Yeah.
So like could it be how you were raised to one? Because you got some men who see women, right? Who who grew up. Some mamas are single, did it by themselves. You got men to be like, you could just do it, right? You did it, my mama did it. Then you got those like the ones that I'm raising. I saw my mama do it. I'm not about to let you do it, right? So I just feel like there are two different types of men, but whole ass niggas, this like a variety of what they could be. Because a real nigga could do fuckboy shit too. They fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, everybody get it.
They do.
Yes.
Hello.
They do.
You don't know what you're getting into. But
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag.
It is.
But my opinion, this is me,
I'm
right?
listening.
Because everybody is different.
They
You can't. That's why I tell my girl, don't you ever compare me to nobody.
You can't.
You can't compare who my mother, how she raised me, and the way I see people. So, but you don't know what you're getting when you're in a relationship, right? And now I got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I got daughters, two. You know, my daughter's like, and it made me grow up a little bit more because how they look at me is how they're gonna look at men.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I caught a phobia almost.
That's
like,
that damaged girl part I was talking about.
Yeah, so now it defines how dad acts with them. That's why a lot of them need them. But what I don't like, you know, you got predators and then you got protectors. So how they're raised, they're either gonna be a predator or they're gonna be a protector. They're not gonna mind you being a boss. They're not gonna be I'm so off, right? And everybody knows me. I'm just, you know, when I'll say certain things to my girl, and it takes a lot to deal with me. Yo, you burning my ears. You talking too much.
Right.
She'll start bust out laughing. You gotta have a personality with me.
Correct.
But she know my heart is for family. Like, but she lets me be me.
All day.
You understand? But I have no bad intentions. I'm not putting her down.
Right.
I'm not doing that. But you want to keep it real? She goes, Ski. If you define, I don't give a fuck, next to it should say Skido.
Right.
I'm so glad God built me like that.
Yeah.
Because I could be just like the next. I don't judge. I came through so much pain and suffering that the way I see people, I don't care if you're white, black, straight, gay, all that. Now, my opinion is my opinion, but how that person treats me is how I treat them.
On. Right,
you feel me?
Right.
The scary part with single moms is that you got to bring men into your house. You don't know. You better do a resume check. You got to see. You got to do certain things. So some of these people going in their house are molesting your kids. They're doing stuff, and you're wondering what's going on, and you so worried about being lonely and being
that you
alone.
Ain't even paying attention.
Or if they got
I don't
money.
get that though, because my philosophy on that is if my kids see you before they go to bed, then they should see you when they wake up consistently. So therefore, men don't come around. Right. It's not I'm cooking dinner. You can come over for dinner today. You know what I mean? Like, it's not we gonna jump in the bed with him because she in the bed with them. It's not.
It's just certain rules you gotta have in your house. But the thing is, you gotta see how a man treats his own mama sometimes, and how that he won't allow you to do certain things. Because a lot of
some things can't be taught. It's either you have it or you don't.
You can't go, I didn't have that in my life, so I don't give a shit about it. He had it in their life. She had it in their life. You gotta adjust to, I ain't have no family. But I got a family.
Right.
And that they started tearing stuff up. What you think about that, D? When you have a family of structure, and now that you out here being single, the men, whoever's gonna come in your life, gotta understand your kids.
Family
dynamic.
Yes, I never brought people, or I mean, maybe a couple people, but not really. They don't come around to meet the kids or anything like that. But I haven't been in anything serious like that.
But you see, you're leading up to that. It's coming. But prepping with your sister being next to you and you talking about, you laugh or something. Kay, say it, Kay. Say it, Kay.
I mean, I've had some clowns in my past.
She's had a whole universal soul.
No, because you know what? Because
she's trying to.
Universal soul circus.
I love it.
Listen,
keep it real.
Let me just say,
because you like to protect. You're not even just about to tell him some shit. You're about to make some shit up.
No, I'm not.
They were clowns.
They were clowns.
They were clowns.
So no longer today will I entertain a clown. Because back then, like, my desire,
like, selling tickets.
Yes, I stopped buying them. Okay. I have a desire to be married, but the difference is back then I was driven by that desire. It no longer drives me. So you can say all the words and pretend to do all the things, and I will fall for it because I was trying to be married.
Under the bus, she failed.
I love it.
So,
keep it.
I will admit there were a couple people that I wouldn't.
A couple
is two. Okay.
A few.
Is it a few? I haven't even dated that many people, Carisha.
Ninja Turtle.
Okay.
Anyway.
You said Ninja
She
Turtle.
called them Ninja Turtles. So listen, and it goes with compromising and settling, because back then I just so desired to, be married, to be chosen. I was so wanted to be chosen. But now, like, I don't have the patience. Like, I'm no longer settling, right? And then I don't have, like, I can't deal with mediocrity. I don't have the patience for incompetence and stuff like that. So I know I need to, like, soften up a little bit. But I just won't entertain a lot.
Because, listen.
Yeah, I settled before.
And it's nothing, and another thing
times.
I hear a lot, and this is for y'all beautiful Black women.
Thank you.
Stop thinking, is there something wrong with me? Because that's another thing men are playing this game. There's nothing wrong with you.
I just told her
Listen to me. I want y'all to hear this.
I didn't say nothing was wrong with me.
Oh,
no, but I'm just saying, that's the thing. You got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying this from a man's perspective. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just don't settle and be careful and stay on your bullshit. But stop get that out your mind, ladies. Yeah. Nothing's wrong with you. It's them. And timing, too. Everything is timing. Y'all rush into stuff, and y'all get desperate, and you get lonely, and then it's a mess. If you came out of a mess, you're going to go into another mess, then another mess.
Until you get sick and tired.
You get sick and tired. And all I'm saying this is just like me having this. Yeah, and I keep it real.
Cold turkey stopped.
You didn't know it.
I did cold turkey.
God damn it.
Well, cold turkey, I don't know. I did a year cold turkey. Real talk. I did a year celibacy. Chilled out.
I wasn't even talking about that.
I don't think that you need to even focus on finding anyone.
Yeah.
I don't think
because we're the prize. The woman is the prize.
Absolutely.
They find us.
At the end of the day, like, if you focus on your bag.
The woman the prize.
No, that's true. That's biblical.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
There's that. We are.
Okay.
So,
a man that findeth a wife
you see
findeth
men
a good
looking at
thing.
whatever.
A man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. I can't think of the verse offhand.
Nah, I love it. Nah, it's all good, but you know what the good part of a relationship? When you find that person that lets you be you.
Right.
That's growth.
That's
it.
Right? Because you can't find happiness, right? Because happiness is always going to bring a disappointment, but you can find someone to grow with.
Absolutely.
And that's going to bring happiness because it's always going to be accomplishment and growth, correct?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you find somebody that you can grow with, not necessarily just.
And we're going to get on each other's nerve. It's not that nerve. And start taking little things into big arguments.
Yeah.
When you go through relationships and you've learned from all that, everything always got to be argued. It could be a disagreement at a low level.
Yeah.
We ain't got to turn up and laugh about it later. Don't carry it to bed. Don't do all of that. Let your man be a man and your woman be a woman. But know that, like I said, the man leads, but he got to lead the right way.
The right way.
And because that's what's going on is when y'all leading the wrong way, the women jump in front of you. Then you're like, oh, now let me be the man because she's coming from being single mom, and then she's used to being the man and the mom.
Survivor mode.
Just that, you bring her back into survival mode, and that's what the attitude you get. It's not who she is. You got to look at her heart.
And it ain't even an attitude. It's really just I ain't got time for that shit right now.
I love it. And on that note, you see Kay bringing the real. We talking about being a single mom, holding it down. Son's going into the Air Force. It's successful. They applauded her, and a lot of mothers are getting applauded how they raise their kids. And I salute all of y'all single moms that raise them. And I salute you, and I salute you. And I love it. And y'all looking marvelous with the beautiful white teeth again. I gotta go to the dentist. But anyway, on that note, we get 10 steps ahead, man. We loving y'all. We love that y'all all joined in with us, and we're so happy and everything. And Kay, welcome to the show and all of that. And she, you see from the first episode, she was, and now she's on now. It's on now. You know what I'm saying? So what you think, D?
I think it's fire.
So that we out of here on that note. And
yep. So stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you for joining us today. Love and light.
Special guest coming.